To be a learning day for all our viewers, and today as well we are being joined by Kunal Bothra into the studios, and we're going to be learning about how to spot a turnaround. And before we get to that, let me tell you that Kunal Bothra, I feel, has a expertise because a recent turnaround that he spotted was Divi's laboratories, and he's going to be telling you how to spot a turnaround in some of those underperforming stocks. So let's get across to him. Kunal, over to you.
Thank you so much. It's so cheerful to see both of you guys in the best of the colors of Christmas. Let's hope that the markets turn out to be a bit better than what they have started off in the morning. Now, the session today, which I'm discussing, is spotting a turnaround. Now, this is a very important and a very critical kind of a chart or an indication of a thesis over here, because this tells you this is completely different than what is actually available in most of the technical analysis textbooks. But then this is something which is more practical in nature. Now, what happens when the stock is getting into an underperformance zone? There are two important things which tends to happen. The news is extremely negative for the stock, and the stock is going into a major kind of a correction, which means the stock becomes a huge underperformer with respect to most of the peers. Now, the two examples which I've spotted up and the ones which are very, very recent enough, and there has been a major turnaround. So the first charts we'll look at is Lupin. Now, as you can see on the charts, and I'm mapping up one very important data point over here. So Lupin had been a huge underperformer right from the 2020 lows, even from the 2021 highs. This was a phase where Lupin went into a correction. And in this phase, most of the pharma stocks like Sun Pharma, Cipla, etc., the other larger cap names, more prominent stocks, they were outperforming the pharma sector. Now, this was the point where we call it as a turnaround. Why do we call this as a turnaround point? Because this is the zone where the news flow, which becomes extremely negative, the stock opens with a gap down, closes with a significant gap up, makes into a multi-week, multi-day breakout mode, and the volumes come out to be a huge volumes the stock has seen over the past many months. So as you can see, the volume tick over here was one of the best volumes the stock had seen, and cumulative to that, the price action was extremely bullish. We call this in technical terms as a selling climax, when the selling gets over and the news flow, which has been extremely negative prior to that, also manages to go into a turnaround mode. The second chart was also a very recent chart, and it's from the tire stocks, one of the stocks which I've been bullish upon, and something which I managed to catch on right from the fag end of the correction for the stock, and that's Balkrishna Industries. Now, this was a huge underperformer stock compared to the likes of Apollo Tyres, CAD, JK Tyres. And you look at the charts over here, very, very similar kind of a chart. The stock comes out with a negative news flow over here, opens with a major gap down, recovers the entire loss, and then manages to close at the high point of the day. This closing is almost at a multi-week, multi-month high for Balkrishna Industries. Again, look at the volumes over here. A majority of a massive volume surge over here, which indicates that the stock is getting into a turnaround mode. And look at the stock from here. Slowly and gradually, the stock started to go into an upward trend, and we've seen a recovery from 1800 levels to almost 2150, where the stock is trading right now. So this is how we classically spot a turnaround, or what in technical terms we call it as a selling climax.